X-Men 97 episode 5 was a bombshell, was it not? I mean, we lost some of our favorite characters we didn't know we liked, some we never heard of. I mean, just death and destruction, the birth of Genosha as a free mutant country only to be destroyed by a mega sentinel. I mean, it was bonkers. And it was kind of heartbreaking. Like, a lot of us were probably wondering, how are they going to bring us back a smile with episode 6? And they took zero time wasting doing that. We kicked things off with the Shi'ar Empire fighting the Kree in space. It's like X-Men meets Star Wars animated. You got Ronan the Accuser, a familiar name from the MCU, although they kind of did him dirty. Like, to be honest, if you're going to bring Ronan in, only to get him smacked down, they made him look weak, like DEEF tier villain. So it was cool to see a familiar face, but if you're gonna devalue a character and do nothing else with him, you might as well just keep Ronan out of the picture. But that's a nitpick. We're gonna have a lot more of that later. So let's get into the positives. We got Professor X, he's back, he's alive. Last time we saw him, he was drifting off on his bed saying goodbye to his X-Men, but here he is halfway across the galaxy. He's going to marry Lilandra, the new queen of the Shi'ar Empire, or I guess her the Empress, Queen Empress, whatever. She's the new boss lady, and she's going to marry her old love Charles, and the Shi'ar do not like it. They are a bunch of bigots. There's a very thin metaphor about how the Shi'ar Empire is like the United States, and we're all, a bunch of bigots, and, there are bigots in this country, but it was a little heavy-handed. Like, come on, America is still the most free and accepting country. Like, would you rather go live in Lebanon? I didn't think so. Moving on. Professor X does what he does best, which is to use his words, to use his mutant abilities to psychically connect all these people who are in conflict and want to throw down and use their hands to punch each other in the face, and he sits them all down and he conducts class. He is Professor X running things. And just as he's starting to get somewhere as far as confronting them with their bigotry, he has a psychic moment where he sees all this death going on Earth and the aggression towards the mutant race, as it were. And he insists, no, he takes the words right out of your and my mouth. He says, I gotta go back. Isn't that what we were saying at the end of episode 5? I gotta find out what happens next. So Professor X is on that train too. He's gotta find out what's going on next. And that's where we leave off. And the B-side of this episode is Storm. We're kicking off, or we're bringing things back from where we were a couple episodes ago when she lost her powers. Forge has been trying to get her powers back using his technology and some wizardry. He's got some mutant abilities that I don't really understand. He can talk to computers. He also confesses his love to her, which kind of makes her think, this is all just to get in my pants, you bastard. She slaps him, she's done with him, she doesn't want anything to do with him, but then all of a sudden, like a demon that's unexplained bites him on the shoulder. She's got to nurse him back to health now, and all of a sudden she's soft on him. They're best buddies. It's very rushed, which is kind of my big nitpick for this show. I said there would be nitpicks, and here they are. The romantic storyline with Forge and Storm, like, as far as her, like, not liking him, then all of a sudden, like, my love, oh, I got to heal you, oh, I care, like, where'd that come from? Like, it was day and night as far as her slapping him in the face, and now they're an item. Her getting her powers back, I felt like that was rushed. Like, it was a 3-episode story arc, but they were half episodes. And you could say that the writing was efficient. They had her telling Jean, I wonder what it would like to be human. They had her losing her powers. They had her failing to get her powers back. And then they had the traumatic moment, the hero moment, where the emotions override reality and all deficiencies. The strength comes from within, and she reignites her power, and she fires through this mountain, and as lightning is bursting out of her pores, it does not fry the cactus that she needs to save Forge. The boulders and rocks coming down from the mountain do not crush the cactus. They do not crush Forge. All this, miraculously goes down as she flies around the world, and she makes hurricanes, and she pets the horses on their hair, their manes, and she strokes the water, and the water falls, and she's spinning, and she takes her time getting back to rescue her buddy Forge. Again, this is a nitpick. Like, it was a very pretty animation sequence, but I'm surprised she didn't kill Forge, just one, leaving him for so long, two, making a mountain crush on him and the cactus needed to save him. That's neither here nor there. Gambit and Rogue, they have the one conversation about how they've been going back and forth for years, but this series is a separately contained series. We have the benefit of X-Men 92 through 96, but 97 is its own thing, and all the romance has been between Rogue and Magneto. So not that they're lying when they say they've been going back and forth, it's just that it hasn't been shown enough in 97 to justify it if you had not seen, like if I was 7 or 8 and I didn't grow up watching those episodes, I kind of wonder how would I feel about this series sometimes. You have Scott, Jean, and Jean's clone who has Scott's baby in this crazy love triangle, and even that seems kind of rushed. Like everything just happens and there's no in between. It's all plot. And it could be because the series is only 10 episodes. I thought it was going to be 13. It's just not a lot of room for so many characters to have all their story arcs. You even got Cable and a little bit of Morph. Like, they're doing nothing with Morph. They took away his face. He's nothing but the guy who was messed with by Sinister and a little bit of comic relief when he turns into other characters. And now he's not even in the show anymore. You could say the same thing with Wolverine. Like, he used to be one of the main characters. Now he's just kind of sad, old Luke Skywalker. He's not cool anymore. As an individual piece of art, I really enjoy each episode. Like, I know how the internet is. You guys are probably going to call me a hater, but I do not hate the show. I just think as far as being a continuation of 92 and being its own original thing, they kind of pick and choose. They like to have their cake and eat it too, and I would prefer them pick one side or the other. You can't always just defer to the other side when things don't work out. Oh, it's not like the original. Well, it's because it's something new. Oh, well, it's not just something new. We're picking up from where we left off. But when we pick off from where we left off, sometimes we ignore some things. Like, no. Stick to the storyline and take your time. Let things ride out. You don't have to rush. And perhaps it was a mistake to try to do a 13-episode story arc and only 10 episodes. We'll see how things finish. We got 4 left to go. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm being optimistic. I do like the show. But the nitpicks, they always take away a little bit. And knowing that they could have done better, knowing that I feel like I could have helped them do better, it makes me want to speak out and share my thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed them. Leave your own thoughts down below. Like and subscribe for more. I've been your boy, Diesel Time. Peace.